Man, appreciate you, Naeem, for being on another episode of Urban Legendz. I created this platform. First of all, if y'all don't know, Naeem, very talented comedian, one of the funniest comedians out there. Tours with Kevin Hart, part of the Plastic Cup Boys. You may have seen him on Survivor's Remorse. He got a new show that's out right. Hey, look at him looking. Okay, that's what I'm saying. That's what we doing out here. You see what we doing around here.
Okay.
He got a new show called Assisted Living with Tyler Perry. That's out. It's already airing now, right? On TBS.
Nah, September 2nd on
Okay.
BET.
Oh, BET. My bad.
I see you done your research.
My bad. I'm a bitch nigga. No, my bad. But yeah, man, it's coming on BET. That's right. Tyler Perry been stopped messing with TBS. I don't even know why I even said that. But yeah, man. So he's definitely making moves out here, and I want you to know, Naeem, the reason I created this platform, Urban Legendz, because I wanted to create a platform for people that I felt like were living legends out here, for people that I feel like are making legendary moves out in these streets. And so I wanted to provide a platform for people, because everybody can't get on Ellen. Everybody can't get on these late night talk shows at right now. You see what I'm
Right.
saying? And so for all the talented people who may not, because I know how it is, you know what I'm saying, who may not be able to get on those platforms consistently right now, to build up a platform like this, so you're always welcome and have a place to promote your stuff, get anything off your chest, and you know, just chop it up.
Yeah, I know you've been doing your thing for a long time. Have you ever been able to do any talk shows?
Bro, I've never done a late night talk show.
Uh-huh.
Like even when I was doing Rush Hour, when I was the star of Rush Hour, they didn't give me any late night gigs. I did the Talk, which was a CBS show, and
That's
I
good.
did,
That's dope though. That's good.
yeah, the Talk.
It's
Oh, and it was
daytime
great.
TV. Daytime
Yeah,
TV is better than late night TV.
hey, it was it
Can
was
be.
can be absolutely. So that was a good look, and I did Big Boy in the Neighborhood,
Hmm.
radio show, and I did a few other talk shows. I'm sure it's a bunch of people watching right now, like, fuck you, man. You did our show too, man. You forgot about us, man. Fuck you. But for,
Yeah.
for any of those places, I apologize. But I'm only thinking about the network, the shit that
You ever
matters.
did
No,
Breakfast Club?
I haven't done the Breakfast Club yet. And funny story, when we was doing, when I was doing Rush Hour, they was
Hmm.
gonna have us. My Paige Kennedy played my cousin on Rush Hour.
Hmm.
He's cool with Angela Yee, and Angela Yee agreed, like, yeah, we'll have both of y'all on. For whatever reason, the network didn't have us go to New York for press
Mm.
for Rush Hour. And so since we never went to New York to do press for Rush Hour, that's why we never did Breakfast Club. So I've personally never done Breakfast Club. I know you've done it though, right? A few times, right?
4 times. 4 times, and I'm about to do it again for via Zoom, I guess, for my show. Now, I know all of them, so they fuck with me, and the interviews are always fun. Uh, but yeah, I've done it. I've done it one time by myself, and then the other 3 times, twice was with Spank, one time was with Joey. So this will be the first time I've done it by myself in a while.
That's dope. Were you intimidated to have Charlemagne interview you?
Nah, cause Charlamagne cool. He a fan. He ain't never really took no shots at me. Angela Yee take a shot at me every chance she get.
Oh, do she?
Yeah, I've known Yee long before she was doing Breakfast Club, when she was doing the show with Cypher Sounds on Sirius. So we've been friends for a long ass time. But nah, I mean, yeah, Charlamagne, I wouldn't even care. It's hard. It's hard to get me, because I don't care. Anything that you're gonna say that could be embarrassing, whatever. I can laugh at myself. That's the key. That's the key to achieving fame, to not be embarrassed and not take things so personally. With my new show coming out, it's gonna be different. Receiving feedback, because with stand up, I don't care. The feedback is 90% good. The people that don't like me, they just, I'm just not their flavor. And I've been doing it so long, and I've been on social media long enough to just accept that. But I'm a professional. I'm good at my craft. I've been doing it 22 years. Acting is even though I've been on the show, my first acting gig I booked was in 2014, and I've done a couple things, but they were always small parts. So now to be a lead on the show,
Okay,
and
okay, we see you out here. We see you.
yeah, to be a lead on the show and now have to take that criticism, and I believe that it'll be mostly positive, but to hear the bad stuff that comes just from haters, even if you do a good job, people still gonna have something negative to say. So to open myself up for that is gonna be a new experience. And like I said, if it's hopefully it's mostly positive, and if it's mostly positive, then I'll be able to ignore the negative shit.
Dope. Yeah, you always gonna get negative. The best one of the best pieces of advice I actually got came from Brandon T. Jackson one time. It was a long time ago.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know if I was having a mediocre, I don't know, something happened. And he said, "Hey man, there's some people that don't think Chris Rock is funny."
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, he's right. I think Chris Rock is a genius. But I
Right.
do know people that's like, oh, he just yells. And it's like, are you hearing to what the hell he's saying though?
Mm-hmm.
So I said all that to say that, yeah, man, no matter how great you are, there's always gonna be people that still go find something negative to say. But
Right.
them people don't even matter though.
Right. And then I'm a fan of TV too. I've talked shit about people. I've talked shit about the whole cast of Power. They were awful. So
Wait a minute, you mean as actors?
yeah. So no, I mean they weren't all awful, but
I'm
it
about to
was
say Amari can act.
no. I like Amari. I like some of the cast. It's just some of the cast I felt like they didn't play their characters well.
Right.
And when you talk shit, you're gonna get it back. It's
You
gonna
I'm gonna
come
say
back.
though, you actually a very funny actor though, because
I'm playing straight rolled on this.
you
That's the thing.
well, let me tell you when I knew you were funny in an acting role though. It was one of Kevin Hart's stand-up
Laugh
specials.
my pain.
Laugh, yeah.
Mm.
And to me, you was the funniest person in that whole scene or sketch.
No, that's a fact.
Yeah.
Tell the truth, why don't you?
Hey man, hey, that's what I'm here to do. You know what I'm saying? I
Nah.
just speak truth. I just say what the people thinking.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so when I saw that, I said, "Oh, nah, he ain't killing." And
Yeah.
you was like sniping with the comedy, like the jokes in that scene. And I was like, "Oh, he killing." I said, "Oh, nah, he ain't got it." That's when I knew you could act.
Right. Well, for me, it's always the reason why I haven't done more acting work is because I'm not a great auditioner. I've
Mm,
gotten better over years, but the anxiety that I had going into the rooms, man, the fear of bombing and just no confidence. And once I finally booked a role, it was another. I just walked in there, I just did it, and just left. Like that's another one that I ain't gonna get. I ain't want anything nothing about it.
that's when you book them.
Right, and that's when I ended up getting it. And then the confidence that was instilled in me by the producers and the other actors when I did that show is what made me realize like y'all can do this shit. They
Straight
made me
up.
feel they were surprised. It was my first time working, and Michael Malley, who I always shout out, he was just like, "Yo, you should be on TV every day." He's saying a bunch of shit that, and I understand Hollywood talk, but usually Hollywood talk is when you ask for feedback, and then they give you the bullshit. But he was actually contacting me, just sending me random messages, telling me that yo, I'm killing it, and you know, whether he meant it or not, it worked. It definitely put some confidence in me.
Well, you know what? That's half the battle is the confidence.
Hmm.
That's the same thing when it comes to stand-up comedy, as you already know. Like the confidence is what help you deliver that performance. And I realized that when it came to me personally, when I started saying I don't care
Hmm.
before I walked into them auditions, when I started saying, man, fuck this audition, that's when I started booking stuff.
Here's the thing, though. Excuse me.
And
It's
now you're like, yeah, fuck this interview.
no. I just finished doing radio, so I've been up early. But here's the thing about saying I don't care. You can't you can't pretend that you don't. You can say I don't, knowing that you really still do. It's
Right.
like when a girl hurt you, fuck that bitch, but I don't care, but you really do care. So it's not just saying I don't care. You have to actually get to a point to where you really don't care. You know what I mean? And that can be hard. Some people just got it. There's people that are great auditioners that can't act, and there's people that can't audition that are great actors. And then you got people that can do both, and those are the people that are killing right now.
Yeah, that's
But
why I'm on TV.
yeah, no,
Because
no, you've been doing your thing, bro. You've been doing your thing for a long time. You've been consistently working as an actor, and there's not a lot of people that can say that. Not a lot of comedians, especially. You know.
yeah, I appreciate. Yeah, people don't realize like I went to performing arts high school. You
There
know what
you
I'm saying?
go.
You
There
see
it
what I'm
is,
saying?
right there.
Yeah, you see it. And so I remember I heard a comedian one time say he had been in LA longer than me.
Hmm.
And he was like, Justin, you leapfrogged a lot of other comedians. Like a lot of comedians probably salty with you because you leapfrogged them.
Hmm.
And I said, and I'm thinking, well, they didn't see the work that I put in prior to moving to LA.
Right.
So outside looking in, it's like, damn, he ain't been out here this long and he already on TV. And it's like, well, I've been acting since I was 13. I
Right. You
did
got the
theater.
training. You
I
got
had
the
the
training.
training.
Hmm.
Yeah, you see what I'm saying? So that, and I probably worked harder than some of them too. When it just come to YouTube videos, I used to do YouTube and all
Yeah,
that
yeah, yeah.
shit.
Yep. You
You
put the
know,
work in. Some
put
of
the
these some of these niggas can't even read, man. Can't go into an audition and your ass can't read. Yeah.
this
You
is
know what?
true.
But you know what? One of the biggest things for me was I wasn't off book. I wasn't prepared.
Right.
And some people can go in with the script and just kind of freak it or whatever. For me, I realized that I really need to be off book for me to get into character, because if I'm reading, I can't express the feeling that I want to feel, want them to understand, and the energy I want to come across if I'm reading, you know.
Straight
So
up.
I realized that I need to be prepared, and once I start preparing, actually preparing, then it got a little bit better. And it's so crazy how I memorize, because like for instance, with my show, we were doing 3 episodes a day, but we were only filming like twice a week. So
Damn. Yeah, I heard Tyler Perry. He'll shoot a whole movie on a weekend.
no. He goes in. But uh it was hard to memorize everything, trying to memorize 3 episodes at one time. But when we would go over the scene, like rehearse the scene right before we shoot it, I would get it.
Hmm.
I would get it. It was crazy how I was able to retain that information like that. But I guess it's because I was just focusing on one thing at a time.
How many episodes of that show, the season, did you all do?
We did 25 episodes.
Woo, beast.
We filmed in a month and a half. Um, the first half of the season, Tyler Perry directed, and we were doing 3 episodes a day. And then Mark Swinton took over, and then the pace slowed down a lot. We were shooting like either one a day or one and a half in a day.
How was
So,
it like working with Tyler?
man, it was fun. It was fun because he come in live. Even though I think either the first episode or the second episode, he's like, "All right, yeah, this one ain't done yet, so I'm just gonna give y'all lines while y'all shooting." And then we was
Wait
like,
a
"All
minute.
right."
You mean the script wasn't
The
done?
script, yeah. He's like, "I'm gonna give y'all lines while we
That's
shooting."
that's because he don't have no writer's room and he writing all them half scripts by himself.
Yo, but he knows what he's doing, and the lines he was giving us was funny as hell. So it was like I really enjoyed shooting him. Shooting with Mark Swinton was cool too. It was just a little bit more. His shooting style was more to what I'm used to. Tyler Perry has his own thing. He like, all right, stop right there, move the cameras, this, that, and it was done. Like, for people that don't know, when you do a sitcom, usually you rehearse all week and then you shoot, in front of a live audience, or without an audience in one day. And we weren't doing that. We was just doing 3 episodes in one day, and it's probably gonna come off just as good. And it was funny. It was funny as hell.
Oh, I'm sure, bruh. Yeah, that's what I was telling somebody. I was like, he doesn't have a writer's room, but obviously he doing something right. This man is a workaholic. He's a machine. He's brilliant at what he does. I remember people used to talk mess about him this early off in his career when he first was talking mess. And I'm like, whether even or not you like his content, you have to respect his business.
Mm-hmm.
You see, I've always been a fan of his business first because I'm like, this dude has ownership over all of this stuff. He writing, directing, producing, editing all of this stuff. Now look at him.
Right.
Now people, Hollywood got to come to him and film their movies at his studio.
Yo, he's an innovator, man. This thing that he's doing, like you said, he shoot a movie in a weekend. Like that's
You do though.
people look at that and look like, yo, that's crazy. How? But he's setting a tone that other people are going to start doing because he's mastered the art of spending a little bit of money, making a whole bunch of money.
Straight
You
up.
know, if I shoot this shit in a week, I'm still gonna get paid the same amount that I would have got if I shot this shit in a month and a half. But I'm saving all of that money, and it's
You-
coming out just good. And you know, continuity, that's really not his fault. Sometimes people make jokes about the continuity. You know, one scene, lady, her hair like this, the next scene is laying down and
Yeah, I
shit.
saw that on that movie, that
Right,
Netflix
right.
movie.
And he was, because when we started filming was right around the time that the movie came out. So, you know, he made some comments about it, and we laughed about it on set. But he was like, "Yo, that's y'all fault with the hair
Right.
shit." You know what I mean?
That's what I'm
So,
paying y'all for.
right, right. You know, but I've seen plenty of other movies that the continuity was off that cost millions of dollars to make. One of my favorite movies is Boomerang. There's so many different not a lot, but there's a couple different things where the
I'm about to
continuity.
say what in Boomerang, because I watch Boomerang a lot. Which one? What scene?
Um, you could just tell you know where his hair may be different.
Oh, okay.
Uh, this thing isn't continuity, but this is the second time he had sex with Robin Givens. You can see her panties.
Oh,
They pulled the covers up and you can see the blue panties under the cover, and then him will fuck you up. Remember the part with the toes?
yeah.
So when he looked at Robin Givens' toes, she was laying on him like this on the side of him, but the feet were straight.
Oh, yeah, yeah. I did notice that.
Her whole body is turned sideways, and you look down and the feet is like this. Like,
Right.
nah,
Shout
that
out to
ain't her.
Robin Givens. That's a classic movie right there.
People don't even know, bro. That's one of
Um,
the best movies ever.
it really is one of the best movies ever, for sure. Tell me about your early days doing stand up, because I remember when I first met. One of the times I first met, I don't know if when I first met you, but I just remember us doing like open mics at like Starbucks. You remember going to Derek Ellis Starbucks open mic? You probably don't even remember that. You done did so
Mm-mm.
much stuff by now. I know. I get it. You done been all over the world. Why would I remember being at a Starbucks doing an open mic?
If it was out here though, you know, I moved out here in 2008 out here being
Yeah.
LA, and
Yep. That was around the time.
I had already been doing stand up for 10 years by then.
Damn.
So yeah,
Yeah,
I've
you
been in
was
the game
clearly
for a while.
funnier than me. I remember I remember thinking this guy is better than me. And I had been doing stand-up for a solid year at that point.
Yeah,
And I was like, I need to get my life together. So tell me, what made you start doing stand-up? Because you started in Philly, right?
yeah. Hmm.
Yeah. So tell me about that. Like, when did you know you was funny, and what made you actually get up on stage?
Well, I'm from New Jersey, but I started
Oh,
doing
that's
stand
right.
up in Philly. I was in college,
Mm.
and it was one of those things that I just had always been in the back of my mind because I was introduced to comedy at such a young age. Um, so I just always enjoy to laugh. I enjoy making people laugh, and I was always a good writer. Uh, like even just short story shit you do in school. I always had a good mind for writing, and I didn't know how to go about it. I just popped up in my head one day like I want to try to do some stand up. It was a very random thought, and they had this show. This dude that was in my class, he did this show called Baptism by Fire, which was like spoken word and like backpack hip hop shit.
Right.
And
Bunch of Kanye wannabes and Lupe
right,
Fiascos.
exactly that type of vibe. And it was the only stage that I knew I probably could get on. And I asked the guy who put it together if I could do some stand up the next time he had a show. And he was like, "Yeah." I said, "Let me know like a month before the show," and he did. And then I prepared a routine, and I went on stage. And I wasn't really nervous about going on stage. The thing that I was most nervous about was memorizing my material because I had like a
Okay.
20-minute set. which is unheard of for the first time on
You did a
stage.
20-minute set your first time?
I did 20 minutes.
Hell no, I would have got booed off 30 seconds in, straight up.
Man, I did 20 minutes, and it just worked out that way because I was at my school at like a talent show. Because if it
Mm-hmm.
had been a comedy club, they giving you 3 minutes the first time you're on
That's
stage,
it.
which is really may not be enough time to know if you can do this shit or not. Everything just worked out right, and had a great set. And then after that, it inspired the Sigmas to try to do just a straight comedy show with students from the school. And so everybody had heard how good I did in the first one. So I'm like, all right. So I'm thinking I got to prepare a whole new routine.
Oh, damn. Okay.
Yeah. And I went and did that new routine and I took it to the face.
You're like,
I
hey,
stuck.
everybody, I got some new shit.
Yeah. I bombed so bad. And then that was it for me. I quit. Until one of my friends convinced me to try again, which was probably like 6-7 months later.
Okay.
And that was okay. And then Michael Collier did a show at my school for homecoming, and I begged the
Michael Collier, one of the legends out here.
yeah, the lady that ran student activities. I begged her to let me perform, and she was like, "Well, we got to see if it's okay with Michael." And when Mike got there, uh, he said I can go up. Talent was hosting. They let me do 3 minutes, and I killed it. And then after that, I was like, I'm gonna stick with this shit.
That's what's up, bro. How did you first meet Spank?
At school, Spank, we went to Temple. Me, Spank, and Wayne, who's part of the crew, we all went to Temple University in Philly. And that's how I met Spank, just at the student center. Spank was always real friendly, real cool. You know, he would start a conversation with you, and
I don't know what the hell Lee doing. He
yeah.
he fumbled. That nigga he was doing good and just fumbled. I'm listening.
No, Spank was just always been super friendly, and he transferred from Lincoln. He got kicked out of Lincoln, and then he started going to Temple, and he just was making friends, and we just got cool. Then he started doing stand up, and that's how we really got cool.
Man, Spank a good dude, bro.
Mm-hmm.
So okay, so you're doing we know you working with Kev and all of that. I guess to go with the story then. How did you get hooked up with Kev? Because I saw an interview and you said that you're actually the one that told Kev about Spank.
Well, Kev knew Spank already from Philly, from the basketball scene in high school, and Spank had a roommate that was real cool with Kev, so they just knew each other. But when I started working with Cedric the Entertainer, which was my first year here in LA, I couldn't do all the shows with Kev, so he needed an opener, and I suggested that he use Spank, and
Gotcha.
that's how Spank got on the team.
And what gave you the confidence to move from Philly to LA?
Well, I did the Stand Up for Diversity competition with NBC the year before, and I won.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Yeah, and that's how I got my representation. And then they started sending me out on auditions and everything. And I was house sitting for Kev for 2 months when he was in Australia shooting Fool's Gold.
Okay.
So after being here for 2 months, I was like, man, I want to move out here. And then for all of 2007, I was just lining my ducks up. I was just like, all right, I need to do this, go to NACA, book a whole bunch of colleges. I was in this other competition. If I win this, and I have money for this, and I just lined everything up, and I just kind of manifested it all. And I said, if all these things work out, and one of the things was my cousin owned a house here, and she had remodeled it, so it was like 2 units. And I was like, if she keeps it, then I'll rent one of the units from her, and I'll stay there. I'll have some place to live. So I just lined my ducks up, and everything worked out the way I manifested it to work out, and I moved.
Straight up. Dang, that's what's up, bro. So you got the radio show. Y'all got the radio show Straight from the Heart. That's the
Mm-hmm.
name of it, right? Straight from the
Mm-hmm.
Heart on
Sirius
Sirius.
XM 96.
Hey, turn up. Uh this what I was thinking when I was watching it. Number one, I saw Dave Chappelle called in, talking about
Kev called him.
Kev called him.
Yeah.
Dave called him back.
Yeah, right,
Yeah,
right, right. Yeah,
like, let's be
he didn't know
specific.
he was calling into radio. He
Right,
just was returning the call. Yeah.
right. Kevin sneak attacked him.
Right.
Uh, have you been out there yet? Did y'all ever make that trip out to his comedy boot camp yet?
Nah, we ain't been yet, but I hope we go soon. I want to go do it. I need the stage time, man. I only been on stage one weekend this whole year.
Yeah, me too. 2 weekends. That's it.
I had 2 weekends get canceled.
Me too. I had my biggest payday that I was finna get to date in Las Vegas, and
Mm.
it got canceled because of COVID.
That must have been early in the year because Vegas open.
It was early in the year, and then they never rebooked me because they was like, "Why the fuck did we book this nigga in the first place?" I'm sure it was like, "Why the fuck do we got Justin Hines perform here? Why were we about to pay him this amount of money?" I'm sure somebody in the top office
That's
rethought
hilarious.
that. They made the right. They made the right choice.
Vegas, though, them clubs in Vegas got money. They got money. So don't you got what you supposed to get, bro. Don't
Hey,
say that.
straight up now.
Well, you almost got what you was
I
supposed
almost
to
cashed.
get.
Hey, so on that radio show, how like strategic or careful you have to be with what you say? Like, is there ever a fear that you might get canceled because y'all might say something that may go across the line, or y'all may step on some toes with y'all
well,
conversations?
well, the good thing is we pre-record.
Oh,
Um,
okay.
we seldomly go live. So if you pre-record, we just say whatever the fuck we want, and then we'll say in the middle of it, take that shit out, edit
Okay.
edit that out. But it's really only Kev who has to be PC. But that creates a dynamic in our show that for the fans love shit that they hate. If that makes any sense. For instance, I can't stand Stephen A. Smith, and I watch First Take every goddamn morning. You know what I mean? Just so this thing get pissed. We love to get pissed off.
Right.
So when Kev says his PC shit, the people they get mad, and then we get to clean it up, or we say some bullshit, he gets to clean it up. So it's a great dynamic. Um, but there hasn't been anything really. We haven't gotten in any trouble yet. And our show is really for that fan base, for that non-PC. We want that old original bullshit, that talk, that ignorant shit. We want that. That's what they listen to our show for. They want to hear that stuff.
Yeah, man. Comedy is, man, the last frontier. I feel like for freedom of speech, even though they still try to come after us.
Man, look, it's not anymore. It depends
Yeah.
on who you have to answer to. With Kevin having a bunch of people under him, he has to watch what he says because he can't lose out on sponsors and lose his jobs. Dave Chappelle, who answers to nobody, can say whatever the fuck he wants.
That's the goal I'm going for. I think I want to, if I really had to choose
Mm-hmm.
which one to be, the Dave Chappelle route is what I feel ultimately what I would love more so
We
because
all do.
yeah, yeah,
You just can't.
I know, man. I don't know if we can't. I think, you know what I think it is? I think it's one, be great at your craft. That's number one.
Mm-hmm.
But two, being financially responsible to create a path where you're not dependent on certain people's checks. If you
Mm-hmm.
got your own stuff going on, you see what I'm saying? That's providing your own income.
I agree.
Yeah.
But so you've been on MacGyver for years, right?
Mm-hmm.
Show's doing well, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So you don't want to, just because you may have some money saved up, you don't want to lose. You don't want to lose that show. I'm sure you don't want to lose it.
Right. Oh no, no. Hey, man. MacGyver
Right,
paid for this house.
right, exactly. And then also, you could possibly lose your stand up fan base as well. It can all topple. Now, Dave Chappelle, he already created this huge fan base. Um,
Being
who's
politically incorrect with his show, but
right, but
at a
they,
brilliant level though.
it was okay at that time.
Right.
And now he's in the space where he's so brilliant, he's so funny, and people, they know who they're coming to see. So once MacGyver is over, and then if you get to Dave Chappelle's status, and knowing that you can say whatever you want and you still gonna have people come out, then I say go for it. But the thing really, it's not that you can't say what you want to say. It just has to be funny.
It has to be funny, straight
So
up.
you can talk about the LGBTQ. You can talk about politics. You can talk about all of those things, but there's a fine line of it being funny versus offensive. So if you can get those people to laugh, then it's okay. But there's gonna, cancel culture is a bitch. Um, there's certain things I'm still immature in my mind at times. There's certain things that have been said about black people that is extremely offensive. But when I first read it, I laughed. And I'm ashamed to say this, but I'm just dishonest. And I said it was fucked up, but when I first saw it, I laughed. When the mayor from Virginia said Joe Biden picked Aunt Jemima to be his running mate, the first thing, the immatureness in me,
It's the
I
comedian
laughed.
in us.
I laughed, but the main reason I laughed is because it's like, yo, these motherfuckers don't care. The
Blatant racism.
audacity, the audacity of this motherfucker to say that is perplexing.
Got this nigga using big words.
I'm laughing. When white people say, when Trump said the kung fu flu and all that shit, when white people say these things that you should not be saying in 2020, I laugh because I'm like, they really don't give a fuck. It's not even a mistake. They're saying this shit. One of the photographers said, he put up something that said Joe in the hoe.
I saw that. That's crazy. Reckless.
Joe in the hoe. And I didn't laugh at that one. I was just, because it's just so much that you be like, all right, come on, man.
Now you crossed the line. You've offended a lot of people at this point.
Yeah, it's just, it's perplexing, bro. But that's the world we live in.
Hey, I was wondering, because I know y'all tour all over the world.
Mm-hmm.
Has there ever been a country or city that you were in that you're performing and you like, I know they have no clue what the hell I'm saying right now? Like, why are they even laughing?
Nah, because everywhere we go, they speak English. It's not, a lot of countries, it's not their first language or their native tongue, but they wouldn't be there if they didn't understand.
Okay.
It's been places that I've been that I was afraid that they wouldn't understand. One being France. We were in Paris, and a lot of countries. I would say probably, if I had to take a guess, I would say probably 70% of the countries in the world, when they learn a language in school, it's English.
Oh, okay.
A lot of these countries, because the UK once colonized them, they already speak English. But when we were in France, I didn't expect them. I was like, damn, these motherfuckers know English like that. And clearly not a lot of them do, because we performed at a smaller venue. It was
Oh,
probably like
okay.
it may have been a 1,500 seater, something like that.
In France?
Yeah.
Oh,
But
okay.
a lot of the places that we've done in Europe, we've done arenas. And yeah, they understand, so certain things you can't talk about. You can't, yeah, like I had a joke about Chick-fil-A. You can't do a joke about Chick-fil-A out of the country. They don't know what the fuck that is.
Right.
So you have to change some of your content, but they understand.
Yeah, I got a joke about Piggly Wigglies. It's like
Right.
kill over there. Uh, that's so. Hey, so I was watching the documentary,
uh,
the Kevin Hart, the docu series that was
don't
on
fuck this up.
Netflix.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, when the fight happened between Kevin and Boss, did you at once think they about to make this plane go down?
It was scary. I mean, I didn't. I was kind of just like, what could this movement on a plane do? Um, I don't know. I it was definitely scary. I wanted them to stop. It was like, y'all motherfuckers are really fighting, and like 30,000 feet in the air. Like y'all are bugging. Like, what if one of you smashed the emergency exit or some shit like that? It was a little scary. It was a little scary.
Yeah, because that's what I was thinking when I'm watching the episode. I'm like, yo, I'm thinking like What if it rocks too much? If they go to one
Yeah,
side too quick? I don't know how big the plane is, but that's just with my natural inclination. I'm like, and I don't like flying anyways. But I was just like, man, that would have been my thought. Like, what the hell, you know?
yeah.
So,
You think of like a scene from Passenger 57 or some shit, and the window get blown out, then the motherfucker hanging out at the emergency exit like this. You kick him in the stomach, and he flies out and dies. It was yeah, them niggas was wilding, but they was drunk.
hey, so I see you got like a car collection going on.
Uh-huh.
You got some.
I got 4. I don't know if I'm calling it collection. I got 4.
You got more
I
than me.
got I got more cars than a nigga at my status should have.
Well, that's so funny you say that because I was gonna bring that up. so,
Yeah,
so
yeah, that's one.
that's a what Aston Martin,
Yeah, that's my most expensive one. Yeah,
and then I just saw the picture you posted with the Mercedes.
yeah, that's number 2.
And do you still have the one that Kevin got you?
Nah, I gave that back.
Why you gave it back?
Man, those old school cars, they look nice, but the interior and I need push start. I want comfort. I want comfort.
Don't you got money? Couldn't you got it upgraded to that?
So it's funny you say that because John showed me some pictures last night. People are taking their old school cars and they're making them so modern. Like this one girl has a Chevelle with Cadillac interior.
Wow.
It looked like her shit looked like an Escalade on the inside, but it's a Chevelle, which is it doesn't make any fucking sense to me. Like why a Chevelle is a Chevy? Why not get some Chevy
Chevy
interior?
interior. She like, nah, fuck all that.
Yeah, but you can do that. It just costs a lot of money. And I'm like, I could just
The car
buy a
you
new
want.
car. Yeah.
Well, wait a minute. What did Kevin say when you gave the car back? How did you even say that? Like, you know what,
It
brother?
was
On
just
second thought.
annoying to me. The car was just having an old car just requires a lot of attention, man. And I nobody trying to have their car in the shop every fucking month. And I said something about it, and I wouldn't sell it because I didn't want to disrespect the gift. And he said he would buy it back for me. I was like, all right, if you want to take it back, then yeah, you can have it.
Oh,
And
so he has it now.
yeah, he has it. He ain't gave me no money for that shit yet, but he got it.
Hey, so have you ever had a during the stand up days? Like, I mean, because stand up days seems prehistoric now.
Right.
Um, coming up in the game, did you ever have like a comedian take your joke? And if they did, how did you handle that?
Um. Yes, I've had plenty of comedians remix my shit. Um. There's been a time where a comedian kind of stole maybe or remixed a banter or a little word or something, and then I just went on. I was on the same show and I went and just did the shit just to remind this motherfucker like, yo, I don't know, because sometimes people can think that they thought of something, but you actually heard it before. You
Right.
know, subconsciously you heard it and you thought that you came up with the shit. Um, the worst thing that I've seen, and this shit was just a total rip. There's a couple people that did a total. One was a girl, one was a guy. They just totally ripped my shit. I did a show with this dude in Seattle at Nate Jackson's room, and
Shout out to Nate Jackson.
yeah, and I went on after him, so I know he heard me tell a joke, and I watched his set, and he had nothing about this shit in his set. Um, this is the joke I used to have about the 90-day rule and the Steve Harvey shit,
Oh
the
yeah.
think like a man or whatever.
Hmm.
And I was in Jersey, maybe a few months later, and I happened to just pop in this room where they was doing stand up, and he was on stage just totally just hacking my shit, and I was just like, wow. And I thought about yelling something. He didn't know I was in there. Thought about yelling something about like, oh, you stealing or whatever, but I just ended up just leaving. And then this I still had this joke. and a lot of people have remixed this joke now. But I was the first comedian that was talking about the 40 is the new 30 and 30 is the new 20 and all that shit. And I said, I seen my nephew the other day. I said, you getting old, man. He said, 8 is the new 5. And but I was the first person talking about that 40 is the new 30 shit on stage anyway. And this female comedian, she saw me do it. And you know when a motherfucker blatantly steal your shit because they be like, oh, that shit was fun. That shit was funny as hell. Then you see them again and they jacking your shit. But I've never really gotten into an argument, but I've told niggas like, yo, you know, I got a joke like that, or I used to do a joke like that. Um,
The problem is comedians, they'll still do the joke though, even after you tell them nowadays.
well, um, one of the guys that works with us, I ain't gonna put him out there, but he started doing this joke on tour with us last year, and I was like, yeah, you know, I had a joke like that. You're like, nah, I never heard you do it. And I know that he's heard me do it because when he around the time he started doing stand-up, that was one of my bits.
Mm-hmm.
And it was one of my bigger bits too. But this is years ago. And I was just like, yeah. And then I showed him, actually had the footage and I showed him. He's like, oh, okay. I was like, but I don't give a fuck if you do it. I don't do that joke no more. Just let you know I used
Right.
to do that shit. So, you know, a lot of us, we get into it. Ron G and Lav Love had a a little argument on social media earlier this year about a joke that Lav said Ron stole. You remember that? Did you see that?
I did see
The R&B shit, whatever. And the jokes were not really the same. It was just maybe a similar part. And I told both of them, like, yo, Ron G has a reputation. I'm gonna keep it 100. A lot of comedians will say that he steals shit, but I be like, I've told them all. Ron G has so much material.
it. Mm-hmm.
He has so much material, so he really don't. He don't have to steal.
Right.
You know what I mean? A
But you know,
lot of time,
it goes to the subconscious thing too, because I
right?
actually talked to Ron. I do think the only problem with hosting all the time is that you hear so much material,
Right.
even if you're not purposely stealing.
That's my thing. He's not doing it on purpose.
Yeah, absolutely not.
He's not doing it. There may be something, especially when you get into freestyling. If you up there just talking, then it's real easy for you to say something that somebody else may have said. But
Absolutely.
he's not blatantly taking anybody's shit. He probably he definitely has. He definitely has said some stuff that was similar to other people's shit, but he's not blatantly taking it.
No, yeah, Ron G, a good dude, very talented comedian.
Mm-hmm.
And like I said, that just comes with hosting. If you see a bunch of comedians, you know, and you trying to keep the show going, and you trying to
Mm-hmm.
riff and stuff like that, and you just sometimes you grabbing, you know what I'm saying, just like what can I say to say something funny,
Right.
you know, and it may come across as similar sometimes. Um, on tour, has there ever been a time where you personally thought this dude Kevin about to kick me off tour? Like, has there ever been a time that, you know, because I'm gonna be honest, outside looking in, there's been times where it's like, I don't know if y'all joking or y'all serious. And I'm like, do they got beef or this just part of they playful banter? And so
uh,
I was like, do he ever feel like his job is at stake? You know, with some of the stuff he be saying, or what?
nah, people look. We were somewhere. I think they were shooting ride along, and you know, we all talk to each other very recklessly. We've established what our relationship is. We know what we can and cannot say to each other. And it really ain't nothing that we can't say to each other. Ice Cube said straight up, if anybody work for me talk like that, they talk to me like that, they fired.
He said that, huh?
He said them motherfuckers is getting fired. I've never, my job has never been in jeopardy. Kevin is extremely loyal. Here's the thing: I've had arguments with him, and I've said some shit to him, but it's usually in response to something that he said to me. And one thing that I've never done anything, never done wrong to him. I'm the godfather of his daughter because he knows what type of person I am. I've never stolen from him. Um, I've never thrown him under the bus. I've never done anything wrong to him, so I'm not worried about that. There's people that work under him that have done some bullshit that if they worked for me, I would have fired the motherfuckers. So nah, we got into we like brothers, man.
Y'all
We
like
argue,
brothers.
yeah,
That's how
we
it is with
argue.
me and my homeboys.
Mm,
Like we all working together. You know what I'm saying? Even my assistant, I mean, that's been one of my best friends since he was in 8th grade and I was in
right,
ninth grade. You
right,
see what I'm saying? So I and of course we done all fought and wrestled and cussed each other out. But it's like that's my brother at the end of the day.
yeah.
You know. So I could completely get that. My
We are probably in the best right now. We're probably in the best space that we've been in, maybe ever,
right.
maybe
Why do you
ever.
think that is?
Well, there was some built up shit that that I had never expressed because when you try to talk to him, he's never really trying to receive the information. He wants to debate with you and argue and say well this or that. He always got to he always want to spin something. And then he get mad if you don't talk to him like nigga, this is why I don't want to talk to you about things because you can't never just say I was wrong or understand where somebody is coming from. Um he was like he felt some type of way that I didn't tell him about my show. Eh,
Assisted living?
yeah.
Mm.
So and I was just like, I didn't tell you because when I told you about the other shit that I'd done, you seemed to not care. You didn't watch it. You didn't support it. And so I didn't want to ruin my excitement or my moment by telling you something and you hit me with some generic, oh, that's good shit, you know? So I just was like, I just didn't say nothing. I was like, I know you was gonna find out eventually because I was going when I was going filming, I wasn't doing radio. So
Oh, that's why you wasn't on the show during that
right.
time period. Okay.
So then we went out to dinner. We just cleared the air. Got everything out of there. Also, booking this show was extremely important for me and my career because I did it without him. I mean, all the acting work that I've got had nothing to do with him. Not
Well,
that it's a lot.
that is a question that I had, which was, do you and Spank ever feel some type of way that he don't put y'all in his movies like that? Because I'm be honest, even this is just me. I'm talking about me now.
Hmm.
For me, I had Rush Hour, right? My homeboy, he'd never been on network TV, and I was still able to get him on the show
Right,
because
right.
I'm number one on the call sheet.
Hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So I was able to be like, "Yo, can we get my homeboy?" It was like one line or something. I don't know if it had a line, but it was a super small part. But still being number one on the call sheet, I was able to be like, "Yo, this my homeboy. Can he do this part?" It was like, "Oh, sure, Justin." So I guess sometimes when I do see his films, I kind of wonder, if y'all feel any type of way because I think people do want to see y'all
Hmm.
in those films.
That's a question that's frequently asked. You got to be careful with that. So you have the outsiders, the people that know us on the outside looking in, and they get in your ear and they put that battery in your back. Oh, it's fucked up. He ain't doing this, doing that. You can't listen to that. So the only problem that I had with that was at one point he told us that we would be like Adam Sandler and his crew. And when I start getting these things and doing this, that, and the other, I'm gonna put y'all in it. And we never asked for that. It's just something that he said was going to happen. So you naturally have these expectations.
Right.
Um, but after I got over that, got out of my feelings and stopped feeling entitled, then I no longer cared. Like let that man shine. I want to get things on my own. And then when you do get things on your own, then you can appreciate it that much more because the people out there will make you feel fucked up. You got certain people that'll say, damn, that's fucked up. He don't put y'all in shit. And then as soon as he put us in something, then it's gonna be people saying, damn, you wouldn't be shit without this nigga. This nigga do everything for you. He
Straight
take
up.
you on tour, and he put you in a movie. Y'all niggas is trash. If it weren't for him, this, that, and other. So you you
Straight
can't
up.
win.
That it. You can't win. Straight up.
You
That's
can't win. So that's why, like I said, it's this was one of the high, this is definitely top 5 highlight of my career to have this show and to book it on my own.
Hey man, that's great to hear, and I'm glad you said that because I mean that's just internal thought, and you know conversations that comedians have, of course, you
Mm.
know. So I mean, I'm glad you just told me
People
because I
gotta stop feeling entitled, bro. Don't nobody gotta do shit for you.
straight up
We all got homes, nice cars, and everything just from being on tour with him. And somebody could easily say, he could easily say, "Yo, I did," and we doing radio now, and our
right.
show is growing. We're making money off radio. We're gonna be able to, we're gonna be able to live off of radio alone soon.
Wow,
So, you know, you can look at that and be like, "Yo, this nigga done everything. He's changed our lives. He don't gotta put us in no fucking movie if he don't want to.
straight up.
He don't owe us shit."
Do you ever bring? Because I know you say you write. Do you ever write scripts to try to get them made under his production company, like Heartbeats? Do you ever write any like scripts or TV show ideas, anything like that?
I sold a show to HBO that I was supposed to star in through him. He set the meetings, and I went in, I pitched, and I sold the show, and it did not get picked up for pilot. And that was the only thing. That's the only thing that I've written, and only thing that was under him.
Got you.
So
Congrats on that. Still, I mean, that was still an accomplishment, though.
no, it was dope. It was dope. It just didn't work out the way I wanted. But then I ended up getting this Tyler Perry show. It's all about perspective and how you look at things. So if I had done my show on HBO, um, I believe it could have been a great show. But you're looking at 10 episodes um, versus 25
25,
episodes,
right? Ching ching. That's more
right?
money.
Where I make more money on BET, and also I'm working with somebody who's established, and all of his projects do well. So
That's a built-in fan base ready to go.
exactly. So now I can take the popularity and the fans that I bring from this show, and then possibly set myself up to do something else without him, or even have him be executive producer.
Yeah, because think
So
about that. Now you have two heavyweights in your corner.
exactly. So everything works out the way it does for a reason. So you gotta just look at it as a. I mean, I was disappointed because I wrote that whole thing, and I just felt like it would have been a good look, but I can revisit that another time.
Absolutely. You still own it. That's what's most
Hmm.
important. Oh, this is the last question. Um, two questions. Who are some of the up and coming comedians that you find funny? And what comedian did you see that was like, hey, I got to step my game up? Besides someone like Kevin.
Um, Up and coming. Ryan Davis is getting strong. You know, he has a great following, great perspective.
Shout out to
Um,
Ryan. I'm gonna get him on here.
yeah. Trying to think who else is new. You probably would have to throw some names at me, and then well, then don't do that because then I
Yeah, he
might
was like,
say,
yeah.
nah, I don't like them.
and then what?
uh,
What comedian have you seen that you was like, man, I gotta step my pen game up because they coming with some heat.
1000% Kenny Johnson, who no longer does stand up.
Woo, yeah, man, Kenny was a beast.
Kenny Johnson, when I seen him, and it's not easy to make me laugh. The first time I seen this dude, I was crying. I was crying, man. For those y'all that are watching this, look up Kenny Johnson comedy on YouTube, and you might be able to see some of his old stuff.
You got an old sketch with Tiffany Haddish when the Chris Brown Rihanna situation
Right,
happened. They did a parody about that.
right.
Yeah, domestic violence is never funny.
No,
Anybody
no,
just
no, no.
saying they
You can get
did. It
away
was a
with that
different
shit.
time.
Yeah, but he really he quit at the wrong time because he was doing sketches before anybody really. You know, it was him, Afion. Kenny would have been killing. He would have 1 million followers easily on Instagram right now.
Absolutely.
But he just got out. He got out. But he was a brilliant comedian. And when I seen it, it wasn't even that I was like, y'all got to step my pen game up because we're so different. It was just when I was like, yo, this dude is incredible. He's incredible. But we still talk from time to time. I always invite him out to my birthdays and shit like that. He's doing well. He's like Daryl Heath. Like people always talk about how funny Daryl Heath was, but he just quit.
Yeah, I never got to see Daryl Heath
They
in
said he was
person.
so funny off stage. Like he was just funny as hell to be around.
Damn. But yeah, man. Hey, man, brother, Naeem, brother, I appreciate you coming on Urban Legendz, man. Is there let people know how they can contact you? Let them know about assisted living and where they can find that at.
You can catch me on social media. Everything is Naeem the Star, NAIMTHESTAR.
Go on the tat. You got it. You got it tat. Don't you?
I gotta say, Born a Star.
Oh, Born a Star. Okay, okay.
Yeah. Assisted Living premieres September 2nd on BET at 10 p.m. You can catch me every Tuesday and Thursday on Sirius XM 96, straight from the Hart, and that comes on at 7 p.m. Eastern Time and 4 p.m. Pacific.
Hey, man, y'all just witnessed the urban legend out here in these streets, man. Keep doing your thing, brother. I love you, man, and just keep ascending as far as you want to go, brother.
Thank you, bro. Keep doing your thing, man.
I appreciate that, Naeem.
Yes, sir.
Peace.
Peace.